Hey everybody, watch this review here with a look at Man-Bat from the DC Universe Classics Wave 10, the Walmart exclusive Imperiex wave. Despite being ostentatiously just a repaint of the DC superheroes mold, Man-Bat is in fact one of the most coveted figures this wave, in part due to the scarcity of the earlier figure, but more so because the repaint has the traditional colors. However, the biggest selling point is the fact that the sculpt is almost, if not entirely, unique and incredibly detailed. For people not familiar with the character, feel free to pause the video for the very short read-up, but in the meantime I'm going to open this package. Man-Bat looks just as good out of package as he does in it. As mentioned, that's thanks to the massive detailing on his sculpt, from his furry chest to his wrinkly forehead, translucent veiny wings, and even the creases and tears in his pants from the transformation. And with a face like this, he's a fan favorite of both male and female collectors. Man-Bat's paint detailing is also stunning. A mix of tans and browns, such as the tan all along the chest here, which gradually fades out to the brown. And of course there's a darker tan for the hair, or fur. Same tan runs along the front of the forehead and on the ears, in addition to acting as highlights for the mane of fur all along his back for the larger hairs, while the shorter hairs are entirely tan brown. Beyond that, his pants are basically the same color, although it looks darker in areas just because the sculpt provides its own natural shadowing. However, color-wise, the real standout are the wings here, which have dark tan segments, and the color repeats a little bit into the wing itself until it fades right in the center, where you can really see how translucent it is. Unfortunately, this does not do it justice. To get the full effect, you'd have to hold the figure a few feet away from a really major light source, something that obviously doesn't translate very well on camera. Because the figure is a repaint of an older sculpt, the articulation is a little bit dated. For example, you have no second joint here at the leg to allow it to go out, nor do you have any point of rotation up here at the thigh, or down at the calves, although ultimately this does help you out a little bit, because if those went loose, it would make the figure a lot harder to pose. And indeed, he's very easy to pose on a flat, non-fabric surface, despite being seemingly top-heavy. Articulation-wise, things are obviously a little mixed. Here at the wrists, you have a peg or ball joint, which will allow a full 360 rotation, in addition to going back a tremendous deal, then an equal amount forward. At the elbow, we have a single pin joint, good range of motion. Biceps will go a full 360 forward, or back, or so forth. Arm facilitates a little addition movement, including going forward quite a bit. Back a bit, but you have to worry about not tearing out the bicep. Also, it's limited forward by the extreme nature of the sculpt, in particular the chest. Likewise, the head can only move a good amount to the left side, then to the other side. Little amount forward, little amount up, but because of the extreme sculpt in the back, in particular the fur here, the head will not move all the way up. So once again we have a flying character who cannot turn his head all the way up or forward, as if he were flying. In the midsection we have an ab/diaphragm joint, slightly impeded in the back by the soft rubbery fur, but barely so. Waist will go with full 360 degrees around. Legs are a little bit impeded just because of the sculpt, so they don't go a full range of motion, just forward and back a bit, like basically 90 degrees. Then you have another set of two pin joints, one here at the knee, and I guess that's kind of the ankle. And then between that you kind of get the various poses that you can put him in. This is a really cool figure, although it might not appeal to everybody just due to certain pose limitations and so forth, but I personally do like it. Not as much as I thought it would, but it's still a stellar look for the character. I'm also planning at picking up the albino version of him at some point from the earlier set, Not really interested in the clear version. But until next time, folks.